is 30%. That is D minus.
Through the eye of the opposition, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition gives Kenya Kwanza government D- score in its first year in office. The burden of alcoholism, government challenged to change tact in fighting the problem of alcoholism in parts of central Kenya. And the power of irrigation. Little known school in Garissa County changes the landscape through irrigation farming.
Welcome back. The government has scored a D- in its first year of office, according to the opposition coalition Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition. According to opposition chief Raila Odinga, the government failed to address its pre-election pledges, faulting its strategy in stabilizing key pillars of the economy, social, legal and constitutional matters. As Abdiaziz Hashim now reports, the opposition chief says they have collected over 10 million signatures that they intend to use to hold the government accountable.
The Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition gathered on Saturday morning to give their findings of the government's performance in its first year in office.
Yale ambayo wamejaribu kufanya haijafika kile kiwango ambayo wananchi walikuwa wanatarajia.
According to the 37-page PowerPoint presentation, the opposition scored the Kenya Kwanza administration at 30%.
Our scorecard for this regime is 30%. That is D minus.
The report focused on the economic pillar, social, legal and constitutional pillars. Odinga said addressing the high cost of living remains the biggest failure by the government, despite it being slotted as an agenda in the National Dialogue Committee.
Umeona vile gharama ya maisha imepanda. Na juzi wameongeza tena bei ya mafuta ambayo itasababisha kuongezeko ya bei ya bidhaa na gharama ya maisha katika taifa letu.
Odinga will also announce the next course of action by the opposition.
Wakati itafika, hivi karibu inakuja, tutaongea na wananchi. Lakini vile mnavyojua tumekuwa tukisanya masahihi kutoka kwa Wakenya. Masahihi tumesanya imeshafika milioni 10 na zaidi. Sasa imetosha gari. Na tunajua yale ambayo tutafanya na hiyo sahihi. Mara hii haitakuwa sisi tunaambia wananchi warudi kwa barabara. Hapana. Wananchi wakirudi watarudi kwa mambo mengine tofauti kabisa. Sitaki kusema wakati huu. Manake nitakuwa mimi nimetoa maneno mapema.
In the economic pillar, the opposition focused on 6 issues, including failure by the government to tame the depreciation of the Kenyan shilling against the dollar. The social pillar focused on 8 issues, among them the increased cost of education, collapsed NHIF, agriculture, among others.
Federation of Kenya Employers ndio naongea wakilia kwa niaba ya wafanyikazi. Chama ambaye imewekwa pale nitakana ikuwa inatetea wafanyikazi ambaye ni KOTU imenyamaza kimya.
While the legal and constitutional pillar focused on 7 issues touching on governance, multi-party democracy and inclusivity. Azimio further claimed human rights violation and police brutality had increased to an unimaginable level, alleging the deaths of 70 Kenyans during the 3 cycles of the opposition protests. The ODM leader Raila Odinga has urged his supporters to prepare themselves, as any moment from now he is expected to engage with them in terms of the cost of living that is proving to be a headache for many Kenyans. Abdiaziz Hashim, Legends Edition.
Women groups across Nyanza region have been encouraged to exploit government special affirmative funds to grow economically. Departmental heads from micro and small enterprises, SACCO Regulatory Authority and the Lake Region Development Authority held a sensitization forum in Siaya County where over 400 women drawn from various groups across the region attended the meeting, which was convened by the Information, Communication and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo.
Nyanza region continues to lag behind other parts of the country when it comes to the uptake of special affirmative funds from the government. Now departmental heads drawn from SASRA, Women and Uwezo funds as well as Hustler Fund want a more aggressive approach from the region.
I want you also to, subsequent to this, make sure that you have contacts of the relevant people. If it is Hustler Fund, as women groups, you need to know whom to talk to access the Hustler Fund in this region. If it is opportunities in fishing, you need to know whom to talk to access those opportunities.
Twende mashinani, tutafute wananchi, tuwaeleze ni nini tunafanya kwa hizo wizara ama departments, kisha hata tutoe namba. Tuwaeleze ni nini wanaweza kufanya ili wafaidike na hizo wizara.
The departmental heads carrying out a sensitization forum in Siaya County at a meeting convened by the Information, Communication and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo said due to historical reasons, the populace from the region has continued to lag behind on the uptake of the affirmative funds and loans for fear of losing their property. The leaders want the women to join various groups to build their credit levels for their own economic gains. Leaders who spoke at the forum called on the region to support the government economic agenda. Achola Simon, Legends Edition, Siaya County.
The National Transport and Safety Authority has embarked on the retraining of all school transport drivers amid concerns on an increase in road accidents involving school transport vehicles. The training exercise, which kicked off in Nairobi, included refresher courses on interpreting traffic signs, changing lanes, picking and dropping passengers, as well as road regulations. Timothy Kipnusu has details of the exercise as NTSA steps up its efforts to ensure safety on the roads.
The Kenya Private Schools Association and National Transport and Safety Authority NTSA partner to ensure safety of learners by retraining all school transport drivers. It is here that NTSA Head of Programs and Safety Samuel Musumba read the riot act to drivers and other road users, cautioning them against flouting traffic rules.
The school drivers really carry very vulnerable passengers, the children. And as a country where we sit, if you look at our national statistics in terms of road traffic crashes and deaths, they contribute a significant percentage in terms of road deaths. We've seen children involved, school buses involved in accidents. We've lost lives of children. Children have been knocked on these roads. And really, we're asking ourselves, what do we do as a country?
According to Kenya Private Schools Association Chairperson Nelson Githinji, the worrying statistics of frequent road accidents involving school buses necessitated the move to conduct a refresher course for the drivers.
We have had reports of school buses crashing and many people getting affected. So we do want to start leading from the front. My leadership as a KEPSA chairman just started 3 months ago, and this is one of the things I have identified as a critical component that will ensure that safety is at the foremost within the private school association and the buses.
So far, over 200 drivers have been retrained within Nairobi.
We did realize that schools, their core business is education, and they concentrate on education, teaching and learning. They have trained their teachers, but the drivers had missed out. So that is why we brought this training.
Among the reasons cited for the increase in road accidents among school transport vehicles is long working hours for the drivers, as well as lack of adequate sleep.
We also are speaking to them about mental health. It's a challenge in the country right now. And we are going to October, the month of suicide. So we are making sure we are discussing to them about mental health.
The drivers commended the initiative, saying it was useful in ensuring they remain up to date with the changing regulations.
Tumejifunza kuwa lazima tuangalie usalama wa wanafunzi wetu barabarani. Mbali na usalama, lazima tuangalie magari yetu jinsi ziko na tuangazie sheria zote barabarani.
Timothy Kipnusu for Legends Edition.
The problem of alcoholism in central Kenya remains a thorn in the flesh amid fresh calls for the government to change tact in dealing with the menace. Parents of children trapped in the web of alcoholism narrated how they are forced to raise their grandchildren and live in constant fear of beatings from their alcoholic children. Our reporter Pauline Nasimu brings us details of the harrowing tales of parents suffering at the hands of their alcoholic children who will stop at nothing to get their next sip.
This is Kiamara Shopping Center in Kangema, Murang'a County. Elderly persons are queuing to register for the government's Inua Jamii cash transfer program. The program aimed at ensuring the elderly persons live a dignified life is, however, a double-edged sword for some of the elderly persons in this queue. They know they will be forced to part with the money to feed the appetite of their alcoholic children. But on this day, they have set aside their troubles momentarily to enjoy the music, laugh and share. Their happy faces mask the terror of the sleepless nights when they have been subjected to assault as their alcoholic children wrestle the fund from the cash transfer program from them for their next drink.
Na vile wananyagaja pesa za wazee, ninaweza kuadikiza kijana wangu. Hakukuwa akiniambia ati pesa zinapeanwa. Akaenda kwa maana ni yeye nimeandika. Akaenda na akakunywa hizo pesa zote.
Jojo Mugunda narrates to us the ordeal of parents forced to raise their grandchildren.
Sasa sisi tumekuwa wazee sasa. Na vijana wetu wanatorokea kwenye pombe. Hii pombe haramu. Tunawachia watoto. Hii pombe haramu serikali ijaribu juu chini. Ndio vijana ndio wako na nguvu ndio waweze kujenga nchi.
Murang'a Assistant County Commissioner Alan Oruko says the major challenge in tackling the vice is bar owners who often rush to court and get orders blocking the closure of the alcohol dens.
Mtu ana open kutoka saa 4 hadi usiku saa 6. Ukimwenda saa 4 kumshika anakutolea kakotoda.
Kama ni administrator anaenda anashika pombe, ule mtu anaenda kotini, anachukua kotonda, anachukulia huyo administrator hatua kwa sababu already anasema hiyo pombe yake iko licensed. Na yenyewe utapata iko na license.
Murang'a County leaders, however, want the government to change tact and focus on the illicit brew of profiteers.
Wacha to deal na pombe from the source. Wacha tusiwe na huruma. The damage is extremely more than the money we are making through the taxes we get from beer.
But as the government works to reform the addicts, it will take much more to address the root cause of the problem that has seen a majority of youth lost in the web of alcoholism. Pauline Nasimu for Legends Edition.
The vagaries of climate change have pushed a school in Garissa County to think out of the box to grow food as a sustainable way of catering for the food and nutrition needs of learners. The initiative to grow food through irrigation farming has attracted the interest of partners who have joined in financing innovative ways to reduce food production cost. Our reporter Kasichana Masha has details on how the little-known school is gaining fame on the national platform for smart farming.
Kuno Primary School in Balambala, Garissa County. The sound of the flowing water welcomes you to this institution built in the middle of a semi-arid land. The school has cut its niche, leading by example, after investing in irrigation farming to grow their own food and trees.
We have 2 farms in Kuno. There is a farm A and farm B. In farm A, we have a certain tree by the name Gliricidia. In farm B, we have food crops.
The greenery that dores the landscape is inviting as the healthy-looking vegetable leaves gently sway in the afternoon breeze. But how is a school in the middle of a semi-arid area able to have crops that flourish like these?
The source of water is from the River Tana.
The school's principal, Mohammed Ali, hosting a team from the National Drought Management Authority who have since partnered with the school to ease the cost of food production, shared with pride the layout of the farm, which he says is divided into two.
This tree, by the name the Gliricidia, it has a lot of benefits. What we are getting now at the moment is two. One is the animal feed. The charcoal now they normally use direct from the trees around.
According to Ali, the National Drought Management Authority and other stakeholders installed a solar-powered water pump to pump water from River Tana, which is 6 kilometers away from the school.
Through the partnership with the National Drought Management Authority and NACONEC, they have been able to reticulate water from Tana River to cover the whole farm for purposes of irrigation.
The fruit trees will go towards promoting food security within this area. We want to encourage the locals within the homestead to plant trees.
However, for the community to benefit from the farm produce, they are encouraged to enroll their children in school.
The parent, for them to get some incentive, lazima, they must bring children to school.
Currently, they have planted 250,000 tree seedlings but aim to get to 1 million. As other parts struggle with harsh climate conditions, the school is changing its story through smart farming in a sustainable, efficient way. Kasi Chanomasha for Legends Edition.
Farmers have been urged to shift the focus from traditional farming to agribusiness for maximum gains. The remarks were made during the closure of a 3-day agribusiness trade fair at the University of Eldoret, which was characterized by calls for higher learning institutions to take the leading role in promoting agripreneurship.
As the two levels of government roll out the County Aggregation Industrial Park program, farmers are being urged to embrace agribusiness by learning various value addition skills.
This year's trade fair theme resonates as a clarion call to all stakeholders, underscoring the critical role of climate-smart initiatives in bolstering food and nutritional security, fostering agricultural growth, promoting value addition, and facilitating trade.
Calls for young Kenyans to embrace agriculture as a source of employment also dominated the speeches.
We want to encourage the youth that there is a livelihood in farming as well.
Smart agriculture is almost digital agriculture, so you can do it while you can still be, trending on Facebook and Twitter.
Participants at this year's Agribusiness Trade Fair at the University of Eldoret lauded the event as a critical learning opportunity.
If you see around here, majority of these people are coming to learn from the university, of which now the university is giving back to the society, of which I emulate it and I embrace what University of Eldoret is doing.
Vile nimejifunza mbinu za kisasa ambayo ni za ukulima kwa sasa, kwa sababu kuna mbinu zile zenye hitaji shamba kubwa. Yaani unaweza tumia ile shamba kidogo na upate mazao ambayo inaridhisha.
Unajua unapofika mahali hapa, ukifika pale wakati utakapokuwa unafanya mtihani wako, ni rahisi sana kuandika kwenye karatasi kwa sababu ile kitu ambayo umeona unaweza kukumbuka yale vizuri na unapata.
The host institution was among the winners of several awards in different agricultural categories at the concluded trade fair.
As the curtains fall on this 3-day agribusiness trade fair here at the University of Eldoret, institutions of higher learning are being called upon to emulate the move in order to educate the community within which they are located for collective development. For the Legends edition from Uasin Gishu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Right, it's time for a quick break and we'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Officially, Nudhi iko ndani ya one of the boxes ya Lucky Game. Cheza Lucky Game. Kumbuka ni *570#. Chagua Lucky Game. Kisha chagua one of the boxes kati ya hizo 7. Weka stakes zako isiwe chini ya 20 shillings na isizidi 2000 Kenyan shillings. Zawadi ziko kem. Iwapo pia ndudhi tumeingiza mahali pale. Vurumita na star 570 hard.
As a woman, you need to be able to have normal body weight to prevent obesity.
And I like what you've said. You know, when they're coming with issues, we've not said someone is coming because they're fat or they're thin. We've said they've come with a self-esteem issues.
Yeah. But each and every exercise incorporates strength training because of us women. Muscle loss, bone density, it is important.
Someone comes and tells you, you're going to eat this food, and within 2 weeks, you have lost 19 kg. Yeah? So that is a myth. Because, okay, yes, you might lose. Yeah, but at the end of the day, can you look at somebody who has gained weight from 20s and now she wants to lose that weight at 50 years? She has gained that weight for how many years? Over 30.
You mean it's not possible
and
for
now
me
she's
to lose
losing
weight
it
in
within
2 weeks?
Yes, you can lose, yes. But look at that scenario.
Yeah.
You have gained it within that years, and now you want to lose it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Paul Kimani, a staff with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, walked down the aisle with his love of life, Rose Baraza, in a colorful ceremony held at the Full Gospel Churches of Kenya, Kariobangi North. Our reporter Joy John attended the wedding ceremony.
The sun shines brightly on this beautiful day, casting a golden glow upon the exquisite venue. The air is filled with excitement and anticipation. Guests gather, and we eagerly await the exchange of vows. The bride, Rose Baraza, is a vision in her ivory gown with delicate lace and intricate embroidery. Paul Kimani, our dashing groom, complements her perfectly in his white tailored tuxedo, exuding charm and sophistication. The music changes from the church harmonies to their wedding song. The time has come. They are each escorted by their guardians to each other. The beautiful bride has been given to her betrothed. The vows are exchanged and not a single dry eye remains as their promises fill the room.
I promise to submit to you, to love you, and to cherish you.
I will love you, I will honor you, I will cherish you.
The officiant asks for the symbol of the covenant of marriage, and the rings are exchanged. With the signing of the paperwork and the resonating words of the officiant, their union is declared official, and the room erupts in applause and cheers.
It is my joy to present to you Mr. and Mrs.
Here is what the happy couple had to say.
Together with my wife, we are very happy that this day has come through, and we appreciate God because He has gone with us this far.
I'm really excited about this day. I'm so glad to see everything come to fruition and everything. Thank you all for coming. I'm so excited to be with my husband now.
from the broadcasting house wish Paul and Rose a fruitful marriage. John Junge for KBC Channel 1.
Once again, it's a very good evening and welcome to the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. Now, we start off with rugby. National Rugby Sevens team Lionesses went down 77-12 against South Africa Springboks women in a friendly match played at the University of the Western Cape in South Africa. This was the second time the two teams met this year after the South African team beat the Kenyan Queens 48-0 in the Rugby Africa Women's Cup in Madagascar. The two teams used the match as a build-up for next month's WXV2 and WXV3 competitions in Cape Town and Dubai, respectively. Lionesses will face San Clemente Rhinos next weekend in their second friendly match in South Africa. This, some of the action.
Finds Vine, 8th man, and then the pick and go. It's Nompumelelo Mate. That's a fourth career try for the Springbok women. Mary Zulu. Well, she didn't get her easiest kick, but she got probably one of the more difficult kicks of the afternoon. Brilliant play from the Springbok women. What an absolute...
On football, FC Leopards have failed to register their maiden FKF Premier League victory this season after being held to a barren draw by Muhoroni Youth in a game played at the Kasarani Stadium.
In their first two matches of the season, the team coached by Tom Juma was beaten 1-0 by KCB and drew 0-0 against Talanta FC. In other matches played today, Bandari FC defeated visitors Ulinzi FC 1-0 at Mbaraki Grounds in Mombasa, while Kakamega Homeboys beat Tusker FC 2-1 at Bukungu Stadium in Kakamega. Nzoia Sugar were held to 1-1 draw by Bidco United at Sudi Stadium in Bungoma, while Shabana FC drew 1-1 against Kenya Police at Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay. 4 matches are on card tomorrow. Posta Ranger will play Sofapaka, while Talanta FC will take on Murangasil at Uraraka Grounds. Gor Mahia will face City Stars as Kariobangi Sharks take on KCB. King Orimwangi for Legends Edition.
Now, from the swimming zone, Naomi Savai and Elizabeth Mathia were among the winners in the Peak Sports Age Group swimming competition that were held today at the Consolata School in Nairobi. The event attracted 14 teams from across Nairobi County. Let's take a look.
Elizabeth Mathia of Oka Swim and Naomi Savai of Dashin Dolphin Swim Club recorded impressive performances to emerge victorious in their respective age group categories. Mathia clocked 2 minutes, 50.05 seconds to win 100 meters event for girls aged 7 years and under, while Savai clocked 1 minute, 38.62 seconds to win 100 meters competition for girls aged between 10 and 11 years.
Boys 11 years, 25 meters, no limits.
The event was fun, it was exciting. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday after school, we train for about 1.5 hours.
When it comes to competition, safety must come first. You have the lifeguards on the site. We have more than 4 lifeguards who stand by in case of the child is fatigued in the water. We also have St. John's ambulance, which is standby in case of anything to ensure that the safety of the children and the swimmers at large is guaranteed.
In the boys category, Aga Khan Academy's Diomacharya won the 100 meters race for swimmers aged 7 years and under in a time of 2 minutes, 20.75 seconds, while Brent Mwangi of Nova Pioneer clocked 1 minute, that's 2.14 seconds, to emerge victorious in the 100 meters race for boys aged between 10 and 11 years.
Today, I had to give it my all because I knew I had to win, and in order to be able to go to other places around the world.
The event attracted 14 teams, among them Kyoto School, Yaska Swim Club, and Nairobi Academy. For Legends Edition, I'm Fred Njogu.
Now, JKUAT Stray Cats beat Snipers 58-66 in the Kenya Basketball League match played at the Nyayo Indoor Gymnasium. Meanwhile, Neosasa thrashed Blazers 59-46 at the same venue. Some of the action from the Nyayo Gymnasium.
JKUAT Stray Cats thrashed Snipers 58-66 in a thrilling match played at Nyayo Indoor Gymnasium, despite losing 11-10 to Snipers in the first quarter. However, Stray Cats intensified their defense, beating Snipers 14-11 and 22-15 in the second and third quarters, respectively. Snipers upped their game in the fourth quarter to beat JKUAT Stray Cats 21-20. Meanwhile, Neosasa thrashed Blazers 59-46. Neosasa took the lead, beating Blazers 18-10 and 18-8 in the first and second quarters. Despite Blazers taking a 12-19 lead in the third quarter, they lost 11-9 to Neosasa, making Neosasa winners with a 59-46 win.
And in the Handball League, Amazon men's handball team made their intentions clear of fighting for this year's title after a 27-22 win over Daystar in a league match played at the Nyayo National Stadium. Amazon took charge of the first quarter, securing 6-4 lead before Daystar pulled a comeback in the breather to finish 11-10. Amazon went ahead to win the third quarter 15-12 with B. Chepngeno scoring 4 goals. In the last quarter, Amazon completed the match with 27-22 win. The league resumes tomorrow at the Nyayo National Stadium with several matches on the card.
Inside, I need to have another player who can come in and hold on. So it's something that we have to work on. It's something that we have to work on with the team and the technical bench so that we can bring an improvement next time.
Actually, my players have already displayed the skills we were working on last week and the other week. So I'm just going to put on more effort and to repeat on the same so that it can be more perfect.
And now for the karatekas, Rian Mukaria, Tiana Kuguru and Wesley Jones were among the top performers in the first day of the Nairobi Open Karate Championships held at the Kenya Utalii College in Nairobi. The championships brought together over 120 participants from 13 clubs drawn from various regions in the country. Let's take a listen.
Ryan Mukaria emerged victorious in the children kata boys under 6 years category to bag gold medal. Miles Ndengwa finished second while James Bakari finished third to bag silver and bronze respectively. In the children kata boys under 8 years category, James Kibet finished first ahead of Zane Paul and Samuel Mbinoyo who finished second and third respectively.
Mwalimu amekuwa akiniambia nikuwe nikijiamini na kitu yote isiweze kunisimamisha kuweza kupigana vizuri. So nikakuwa na courage, nikaendelea kupigana, nikakuja kuwa number 1.
Natarajia gold medalist in future. Nilikuwa nataka kuwa sensei. Naweza waambia wa train hard na tutie bidii tutaenda mbali.
Blessing Omondi won in the Kata Girls under 10 years category to bag gold medal, while Lupita Mwangi and Neon Chebet bagged silver and bronze respectively. After the Nairobi Open Karate Championship, the attention will now shift to Inter-County Championship to be held in Mombasa next month.
What we want to do is to change the narrative. And where do you start? You start them young. You start them young, let them know that you can do this to A, better your life, B, use it as a step to get you to where you want to go. And it's just a way of life, just to show you that you can actually live your life in a good, responsible way and still have clean fun.
Nice tournament kama hii ndio ile tunaangalia wale vijana wale wanaweza tuwakilisha sisi katika junior championship. Fanya mazoezi yetu, vijana wetu wamejiandaa vilivyo na tumejiandaa katika ile hali, najua tukabiliana katika kaunti hizo kama Kisumu, najua wanakuja, Umabei wanakuja, Nakuru wanakuja, kaunti mingi zinakuja.
The championship brought together over 120 participants from 13 clubs drawn from various regions in the country. Joina Bwile, Legends Edition.
Something from the marathon. More than 130 athletes are expected to take part in the inaugural edition of the Seven Forks Half Marathon set to be held tomorrow at the Embu County. The event will start and end at the Matendeni grounds in Embu.
The one-day event, which aims at raising funds for 200 students at Imani School, will start and end in Matendeni grounds. Some of the athletes expected to take place are the Lewa Marathon bronze medalist Mary Munanu, Safaricom Marathon winner Paul Njeru, Xinjiang Marathon champion Julius Maina, and TAC Road Race champion Alex Njai.
Na ningeimiza watu wetu aswa wa Embu na Meru, mambo ya miraa tuachane nayo ya kukula miraa mtu akiwa mwanariadha, kwa sababu miraa inashika hiyo mambo ya doping. Na kila wakati unapokuwa unapewa kitu na mtu mwingine ya kukunywa ukiwa mwanariadha, chunguza unapewa na nani.
After the marathon, residents will plant 100,000 trees at the Imani School in a bid to conserve the environment.
Tungetaka mje kwa wingi ili au watoto ambao tunasaidia, manake mnasikia ni wengine ni mayatima, waweze kuendelea kama watoto wale wengine wa kawaida.
More than 130 athletes will take part in the event, with the winner walking away with 250,000 shillings. Daniel Mwendwa, Legends Edition.
Na Ndudhi. Officially, Ndudhi iko ndani ya one of the boxes ya Lucky Game. Cheza Lucky Game. Kumbuka ni *570#. Chagua Lucky Game. Kisha